So 10 years ago, October 2013, I made a YouTube video and a couple of social media posts, put an idea out there that I would run at that stage. I was talking about running from Perth to Brisbane. Now, if you've been around on this page for any length of time, you'll know that over the next 18 months after that, I did what was necessary to prepare myself and eventually set out from Canning River Park Run, and yeah, they spent 4 months crossing the country on foot. Now, given that I made this video 10 years ago, then we're 18 months away from the 10-year anniversary from the beginning of that, which for me, life-changing event. I mean, it gave me so many memories. And yeah, I mean, I constantly dream of going back out there. It was an incredible sense of freedom. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be in a position to do that again. Certainly not unless the lotto win comes in the next sort of 6 to 12 months. However, I do want to do something to mark the occasion. I do want to celebrate and commemorate the 10-year anniversary of something quite momentous, and also an opportunity to do a little bit more fundraising in a fun way for the Heart Foundation, because the work of the Heart Foundation is still very, very important. It's still one of the heart disease is still one of the top killers in Australia, but also the rest of Western society. Those who know me know that earlier this year I had a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, and there's complications with diabetes and heart health. So it's still something that's all very relevant in my life, and something I'm very very keen to support, and something I'm very keen. I mean, some of the stories that I've encountered over the last sort of 10 years, some of the ways in which Hearts Across Australia 2015 touched people's lives, that was absolutely wonderful for me to hear all that and come across those things. And that was one of the unexpected sort of benefits, one of the unexpected highlights of doing what I did, was the people that were involved and the people that I met and the stories that I've heard. So I've spent a bit of time thinking. I know a couple of people that I've sort of mentioned I'm going to do something have sort of gone, oh Lord, you're not going to go and do something crazy again, are you? And as I say, the truth is that if I had the opportunity, I'd certainly be setting back out on foot. But the reality is that whatever I do sort of needs to fit in around a bit more of a normal life and a normal routine. So the plan is to cover the same distance. Now, I think when I was talking about it before, the official distance when I first calculated, back in like 2013, was about 5,400 kilometers. I've actually gone into Google Maps recently and come up with a slightly shorter distance. I think it was about, I don't know, about I think it was about 5,318 kilometers if you do sort of Canning River Park Run rather than Perth, and then sort of take it to the exact locations. I think possibly in the original one it may have included going into Canberra on foot, which there's those who may remember that didn't happen because we were sort of running out of time, and we did a visit to Canberra, but unfortunately couldn't walk there on foot. So it's come out at about 5,318, and of course I did a total of 7 park runs along the way. I started at a park run, we finished with a park run, and we sort of did 5 in between. So that's 35 kilometers on top. So we come out with a distance of about 5,353 kilometers. Now, if I've got that wrong, as we sort of go forward with this, I will correct myself, but I think it's about 5,353, which has a bit of a symmetry to it that's quite pleasing. So the plan is to, rather than do that in 4 months, is to actually spend the whole of 2025, which will be the year in which the 10-year anniversary occurs, the whole of the year, basically covering that distance on foot. It works out at just under 15 kilometers a day. So in my mind, that's 5 kilometers for breakfast, 5 kilometers for lunch, and 5 kilometers for dinner. That is on average. The chances are there'll be some bigger walks, sort of longer distances on some days that will mean that other days don't need to be 15 kilometers, but on average 15 kilometers a day for 365 days, because it's to go the whole year. So it'll start on the 1st of January 2025 and finish 31st of December. There's not really much more detail around it at the moment, apart from that's my commitment that I will do that. There will be ways in which people can get involved, and there'll be kind of a challenge somewhere along the line to, for other people to maybe walk that same distance themselves during the course of the year, or if not the whole distance, then set themselves some goals. And we'll just have a bit of fun with it. Now, I am thinking, and again, this is just early days, but I am thinking that it would be really nice to actually revisit some of the places that I went along the way. So I'm thinking that perhaps there might be, across the course of the year, that there might be some visits to probably the park runs that I did along the way. So, a chance to finally, sort of, after 10 years, to get back to Melbourne for the first time. Oh, actually, I've kind of been to Melbourne, but not properly. But certainly, a chance to get back to Sydney. I haven't been to Brisbane for a while because the Gold Coast Marathon haven't done that for a few years. But it'll just be nice to check in, Kalgoorlie, Adelaide, just to go back and catch up with some of the people that supported me. But it's an idea at the moment, and in much the same way that my video 10 years ago was just an idea, and I didn't know how it was all going to come together, didn't know exactly how it was going to work. That's the situation I'm in now. I'm nowhere near fit enough at the moment with the various health issues. I'm not running at the moment. I have managed to do some walking of late. Next year, 2024, will be the perfect opportunity to build up to walking 15Ks a day. Mum Runner is going to be doing a year-long event. Is it 2024 for 2024? So it's 2024 kilometers, and that works out at a lot more reasonable number of kilometers per day. It's sort of just over 5Ks a day. But signing up for that challenge will be good motivation, good focus for me to spend next year building up, really, just building up. So really, I've got 2 years of walking now. Do the 2024, and then that will just be leading into 2025 to hopefully match that distance that was covered 10 years ago. So that's all I've got for the time being. I hope to bring updates and to keep you all informed, to put some detail around it and put some shape. And hopefully find ways in which people can get involved and have some fun. I'd rather we do some fun stuff that had a side effect of of helping raise money for the Heart Foundation, rather than just just go, oh, well, I'm going to be doing this and then holding the begging bowl out. So yeah, we're gonna come up with ways of doing that. So thanks for putting up with my waffle again, and hopefully we can spend another year making even more memories, and it'll be great to actually look back and reminisce about 2015. So cheers for now.